Here we go, CCC Bridge in Kalkaska, Michigan.
We brought our new inflatable tent. We're gonna give it a shot this weekend.
Can't wait.
Yep, pretty excited to check it out.
There's the CCC Bridge. There's the sign, the state campground. Up here says sites 8 to 31. There's not a soul here that we can see now. There's the river down there, bridge. Kind of showing you into the campground. Here's the message board. CCC Bridge, our first time here. So we've rode the area a lot. Haven't stayed this campground yet. You can see the river down there. We'll be checking all this out soon. It's a boat launch down to the river from the campground. It's right here in the front parking lot. Nice.
We are at CCC Bridge Campground. We decided on site 17. We're the only ones here. It's got a nice river view, and it looks like it's got enough space for our big tent we brought. Site 17. You see the river right behind it.
All right, just took site 17. In the big bin there, we got our wood, gas, we're ready. Right off the OHV trails. There's the tent. So Tina's wanting to set it up right there, overlooking the river. We kind of did all our looking up and everything to make sure there's no big branches. There's the tent. She's got it wrapped in a tarp. The intent is she's just going to grab it and drag it 10 feet over. And we're going to unfold it and hook the pump up. We'll check all that out again. All right, Tina's taking the inflatable tent off. She's just dragging it with the tarp. She was hell-bent on this.
So the thought was, the way you put it on the trailer, keep it clean, have the tarp kind of wrapped around it, which worked. As you can see, the trailer kind of has an angle. So I knew I'd be able to slide it off and be able to pull it on the tarp by myself to get it where we needed it. Voila.
Now we're gonna...
All right, we're at the campsite. Field test. Let's see how long it takes to pump to fill up the tent.
Gonna time it again.
Wait for her to hear it.
Right when she hears it, we'll hit the start button. There we go. Got the timer going. So here we are, site 17, CCC Bridge. Getting ready to use the inflatable tent too. We're right on the river. Really popular canoeing and kayaking and rafting spot. There's stairs going down to the river there. Got some woods in between us. Some of the sites are a little bigger. This site's a little on the bigger side, but this was mostly smaller than a lot of the other videos we've done. So we noticed we filled this tent up one time with the pump. Took just over 8 minutes that time. It's a lot colder today. So we'll see how that goes. So our views, which should be really nice, coming off of this tent, should be the river, if you can see right in the background. And so while it's filling up the 8 or 10 minutes that it takes, we're going to unload and stack on the tarp in front of it. And that's going to be our front patio. So Tina's got this set up just the way she wants. She's got the pump going, her front patio set up, and her whole thing was, as it fills up, you can carry the stuff out, so you can have a much shorter setup time. And we'll see how that goes. We are at 6 minutes 30 seconds. So what's funny is, you look at the picnic table, we've unloaded our car, our truck, whatever, while the tent was putting itself up. Now Tina takes her shoes off and she kind of starts taking everything in. Let's see where we're at. So it's at 3.5 pounds of pressure, and we set it to 6.5. Just stopped, hit stop. 10 minutes and 3 seconds, 6.5 pounds of pressure. Tent kind of set itself up. We just got to grab it and shift it a little bit. Nice thing is, 10 minutes, we got all our stuff out. Then we're going to get some stakes in here. just in case. We're hoping for some snow. Again, it's about 30 degrees Fahrenheit today. So 10 minutes to fill it up. Now we're going to stake it down a bit and then get that stove going and get everything going. Stakes are pretty tough. Here they are.
They're nice.
They're tough. They come, and they're going in this ground really easy. This will only take a minute or two. So we just about got all our stuff in. Wasn't too bad. Got the air mattress going. There's the back rooms getting there. One thing we want to do, because it's a little bit chilly out, is just get the stove going. So we got it in. It's the first time we've had it in. You can put this any way you want. You could put this with the back facing the side like that, or sideways. If you'd like to cook, we could sit over in here, and there's actually a lot of room on each side. So let's light this thing up. All right. I put a tiny little fire starter in there, hoping that would do it. First time we've lit it in the tent. You can kind of see there. But this little torch, man, just gets it going so quick. So I'm going to hold it on it here for a few seconds, just to kind of see the updraft's already going out of the top. You can see there, it's already going pretty good. I'm going to turn it off already. Okay. All right, site 17. Let's do a quick walkthrough. Nobody else at the campground right now. We're right on the river, plenty of trees. So panning around. Right through those trees over this way, there's a couple of stairs that go down to a deck that you could put your chairs on and just enjoy the river. River's got a beautiful sound. Fire pits, picnic tables at every campsite. There's our tent. Took just over 10 minutes to blow it up in 30-degree temps today. 30 degree Fahrenheit, that is. Sun's out, shining. They're kind of showing. We got our... So this is the RBM Outdoors Koala Air 7. We got the stove going in it for the first time. We had to leave the front door open. We'll show you that more here in just a second. So this campground is really popular with everything on the water. So with kayaking and canoeing and probably tubing, you can see here. And right through there, that's the stairs going down to the deck. Little viewing deck. Put chairs on. I'm sure there's other things you can do. This river is beautiful. We're here early in the season. So we set up our tent to where our view is the river. You're noticing the front door is open because we lit the wood stove for the first time. It was 30 degrees out at the time, and it's warmed up since the sun's come out. And we thought, oh, okay, let's get this stove going. And it's so hot that we've already had to open it up.
It's nice in here.
Woo, I can feel the heat right when I step in.
Yeah, come on in.
So we put a fan up top. I'm holding the door open just to let some of the heat out. And this stove's damped down. We don't have it blazing. We got a little bit of wood ready. Got the fan on there. So kind of showing you how we're setting up right now.
Hey,
we're having a cup of coffee. There's our back room. And I'll show you our sign just to show you the back room. It's warmed up just a smidge. It's 44 outside, 70 degrees Fahrenheit inside with the front door open. There's a sign. You can see there. And then there's our views. Right out of our front window is the river. We're enjoying a cup of coffee.
We're the only ones here at the whole campground.
We're just showing. There's our coffee pot, the wine. We got some games. It's a big room back here. Beautiful.
Enjoying a cup of coffee.
So we brought our coffee pot, but Tina made our coffee on the wood stove. Hope that's showing very good. The fan going. The view of the river is just beautiful. It's quiet. And here we are just stepping right out of the tent. And just, there's the views. You could just imagine people are off-roading here. Off-road friendly campground. Paddle friendly. I'm sure people are tubing, kayaking, canoeing, you name it. It's a very, very nice campground. there's our site. Nice amount of woods in between. Not totally private because the trees are really tall, so there's no undergrowth, but it's just really nice. And they're right on the river. So then I was going to show you these stairs going right down to the river with a platform. And actually a step down right here. Wow, you can see that water is crystal clear. See there? Go back on up the stairs. You get lucky enough when you come, you get right on the Manistee River. Let's go on in the tent, see what Tina's got going on.
Hey, I'm making dinner.
Just made our first meal on the wood stove.
Nothing fancy.
Yeah,
just hamburgers.
Just hamburgers and parfait, strawberries and raspberries and all that kind of good stuff. Just got done eating. Tina's doing a few dishes. She was pretty excited about cooking on these cast iron pans.
It was. They're Yellowstone.
She really
Beth
wanted
Dutton
them.
pans. It's wet, but.
All right, so we're going into the tent. A couple things we've noticed. We commented before that maybe the walls are a little thin and they're really holding heat. They feel pretty durable. So we're gonna see what they do, but they do seem right. If they were any thicker, the tent would be too heavy. Thing is with the stove, look in there, we're gonna need to get a flange for around that fits that a little snugger, because it keeps the holes a bit big. So if we do get some snow, or we're gonna be losing a lot of heat from that. It was perfectly centered a little bit ago and it's windy, so it's very stable. It's really working well, and we just want to make sure that we can get that kind of a little bit more snug without losing so much through it. So
We're just sitting and relaxing, enjoying the fire in the stove, and looking at the river, watching the sunset. If you've never camped in a hot tent or a warm tent, whatever you want to call it, with a wood-burning stove, I'd suggest at least do it once. Give it a try once. So relaxing.
So we really got the fire going nice. What we did, I'm going to flip this light on. We got a temperature sensor on the floor and one up top. So we're going to see the difference. Sun's starting to go down. We're getting ready to relax for the night. Just kind of laying here and enjoy the fire. It's almost like having a fire outside and you're just enjoying it. So it's just starting to cool down outside. And if you see here, 33 degrees outside, 93 up here. We have not turned that fan on yet. We got the fan going here on the stove, and then when you go down low, just to show you the difference in a tent, it is 34 outside and 65. So, hey, what are you doing?
Just getting some water going, make some tea.
The windows and the skylights in this tent are amazing. The wood stove's really kicking off a nice heat. But we wanted to show you right here. It's 27 outside, 27 degrees Fahrenheit, and 70 degrees in this tent. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Just getting up. Got the garbage and cooler situated. Can hear the geese and the river flowing in the background. We got the campground all to ourselves last night. We now have a night and a day with the wood stove, so we kind of understand it a little better. You can be able to show how the temperatures were and how it worked.
Good morning. Here's your coffee.
And it's coffee time. Just sitting here enjoying the fire, the views. Beautiful morning. Just drove from the campground to M72, so the whole way up Sunset Trail southeast, and it's 8.3 miles. So we decided to send me into town to get Shirley's Cafe carryout. We got 2 Big Daddy's breakfast. So here's Shirley's Cafe. They have excellent food. And then over there is Dingman's Bar down the road there, and we just came from the gas station. Time to run in and get our food. Well, I got our 2 Big Daddy breakfast from Shirley's right off M72, probably in between Kalkaska and Grayling. Now I'll try to scrounge some firewood somehow and get back to the campsite. Just got back from doing that Shirley's run, heading back to the campsite. So here, we were talking about this before. Here's campsites 1 through 7. They're on the north side of the river. So you can see the CCC Bridge campground sign. There's 7 sites there, 1 through 7. Then you cross the bridge going just to the south. And that's where the rest of the campground is. You can see there through the windshield, even though it is raining, there's the river. And you can kind of see there, that's the rest of the campground. So that's where we're gonna go in now.
Then the destination is on your
So it
left.
kind of shows it on the navigation. So we
Just sitting here relaxing in the tent. It's raining out there. It wasn't supposed to rain today, but it's kind of nice. It's really peaceful. Just kind of relaxing. The fire blazing because it's a little chilly. I just added a little wood to it because I was getting kind of cold, but it's firing back up now. Sitting here looking at the river, listening to the rain. It's really relaxing.
Well, we're eating breakfast. We went to Shirley's. I just did a town run for some ice, tried to get some extra wood. It's a little too early in the season. We got 2 Big Daddy breakfasts. So good bread. There we go.
Looks like a ham and some sausage and some eggs. We were lazy this morning. We decided to just get carry out.
Sometimes when you're out riding, you just don't know what you're gonna find. Some stairs down the Manistee River. You see people hang out here and have fires at different times. It's nice. We're just checking the campground out. We'll notice a few places where there's just some scenic spots along the river. So we saw this bench. We gotta go check this out. That's really cool. Nice little bench to sit down.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah, I know you.
there we go. We're just up the river. There's where our campsite is. Just kind of a lounging around day. We did a little bit of riding, just got done. Now we're sitting on a dock overlooking the Manistee River.
We're just relaxing, hanging out at our campsite. Ooh, dark one. French wine. Because you don't always like to have a nice bottle of wine. Bit of olive oil.
Probably rip, but we'll just take them down. Back behind all the sites, got some ropes hanging here. Looks like we got a rope swing right over the river. You see the other rope there doesn't have anything to hold on to. There's two actually. One does still have a grip and everything. That is one big tree hanging way out at an angle. You can see there, it's just back behind some of the sites. Good on and off rain all weekend. Yeah, pork chops, some broccoli and onion. Turned out real good. Cooked it on the stove.
It actually turned out better than I thought it would. I didn't really do a very good planning with recipes. Threw whatever in there. It's good.
It did. It turned out really good.
We're just sitting here eating dinner, sipping some tea with it. It's raining out. If you listen, you can hear it. We're sitting here watching the river. We've spent a lot of time watching the river this weekend. It's highly unlikely that it'll happen, but we were outside earlier and it was snowing. Barely, but it was snowing. Maybe.
We might see some snow in the morning,
Maybe
hopefully.
we'll wake up to snow. Not likely, but... Well, it's almost midnight. I'm getting ready to go to bed. It's 33 degrees outside, 66 degrees inside. That's Fahrenheit.
Just put some wood on the fire. 4 a.m. It's either raining or, icing. You can hear that all night. It's been consistent so far. Everything stayed nice and dry. It's 31 degrees outside and 56 degrees in the tent. Well, we're just waking up. Had to throw some wood in. So the very first thing we did was throw some wood in there because the fire was completely out. And it was about 3.5 hours since the last time we put wood on. So if you can see this, it's 27 degrees outside and 46 in here right now. And that was with the fire. I mean, there wasn't even coals. We had to start it again and everything. So we'll see what it is in a few minutes. Looks like we might have snow. Look at our skylights here. Tina's still laying down. Fire's kicked up nice. It's time to take a step outside and see what we got. All right, so she just unzipped it. Looks like we're getting some snow. Pretty cool. Of course, we're going to be packing up here soon, so whoa, there we go. What we're walking out to. There's a river down there. Wow. It's kind of funny because so you can see where the snow doesn't really stick as much around where the stove's at. It did in the back where we were sleeping. But the stove kicked out. Once it's kicked back on, I'm assuming all this is going to melt off it. I don't know if we're the only ones in the campground still. Sure looks like it and sounds like it. I don't hear anybody. Tina's rolling up the windows. We kept the vent open in the back of the tent last night, even though it was getting cold. Seemed to be just fine. It's a really nice river views. Woke up, did a little snowing. We heard it rain and kind of ice all night. We're the only ones in the campground. We're getting ready to make some coffee. Or water for the coffee from the car. Just a few feet from our tent, we have this stairs with a little deck down there. There's the steps. That's one thing interesting about being able to cold weather camp. Definitely don't have any bugs and no crowds. How beautiful this is. Walking back up from the river. We got the fire going and making coffee. Packing everything up. What I wanted to show was some of the history. Let's see what we got. The highest outside it got was 56 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was 80 in here. And this was, we kept this level right about with where we would sleep. So then we say the lowest, it got to 24.8 degrees Fahrenheit, and lowest it got in the tent during this few days was 42 degrees. The tent, it did rain on us. It stayed dry. It snowed on us. It stayed warm. No moisture got in. And there's what we're packing up in now today. Absolutely beautiful. Stove worked fantastic. Made our coffee really fast. Now it should probably take us about a half hour to pack up. So it took us about 45 minutes of kind of muddy, dirty work because it's maybe 28 degrees Fahrenheit and it's snowing. We had a challenge though of a hot stove.
Not hot?
So it's not hot now.
No.
So we got all the stuff packed up, but the last thing we had to do is the stove. We got all the ash out, put it into the fire pit. It's all out, and now we just got to pack this up and take the tent down. So let's get. Tina's giving it the wipe down. Get a little. Well, our trip to CCC Bridge, State Forest Campground in Kalkaska, has come to an end.
It was a blast. The tent was amazing. Super romantic weekend.
This was a really good campground. Keep this one in the back of your mind. Absolutely beautiful on the Manistee River. Not far from town. It was quiet. We were the only ones here. I'm sure it's got a lot of buzz when the weather's better.
Yeah, it was a great time. Beautiful campsite. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Please remember to like and subscribe. Hope to see you on the trails.